So here we are spawning on Heavy Rain. And Penguin, would you like to do the honors and introduce these two?
In the top left spawn location of Heavy Rain, we have our blue Protoss player playing a pretty awesome game in Game 1. I'm not going to lie, I really enjoyed that harassment out of both of those guys, but he's going to be our blue Protoss player playing for TTE Sports. It is WhiteRa. And in the bottom right spawn location, playing for Team Liquid with their new title sponsor, HyperX, as the clan tag. It's going to be our Red Zerg player, Rhett.
Rhett, of course, is 1-0 up currently in this best of 7. If you're just joining us now, these two players are battling it out for a share of 25,000 next. It's a next generation cryptocurrency, and it equates to around $1,500. So a lot of money on the line. Every one of these games incredibly important, and I have no doubt that WhiteRa is going to be aiming to level out this series and tie it all up. This is only the second map. Penguin, do you reckon that he can do it?
Well, considering that I feel like in this matchup, Heavy Rain plays out very similarly to Yonsu, and he just lost on Yonsu. So picking this map makes me kind of hope that he has special tactics planned, because that would make sense. I'm really hoping we see some, because of course WhiteRa is the father of special tactics.
I really hope he is going to do something a little bit crazy, and because of the fact that Heavy Rain does play out in a relatively similar way to Yonsu, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he does have something interesting planned. Now, one of the main things that can work really well on this map are proxy stargates, although I don't think we'll be seeing that so far, as there isn't actually anything too scary coming on from WhiteRa at the moment, and up against Zerg it's not super common. Otherwise, we're actually seeing from Red a hatch pool opening, so he's feeling very confident, going for the gas after that as well, clearly expecting that gateway expand out of his opponent.
3 hatch before pool is unbelievably good against gateway first, and I feel like Rhett probably just decided, he may have just decided to play safe on Yonsu, and he may well know that WhiteRa is a player who does like to go for the gateway expands, and on the reason that you might think it's a little weird that the defensive Forge Fast Expand build is better against the 3 hatch 4 pool build than the more aggressive Gateway Expand build, but the reason behind that is that you don't have a Forge to offensive cannon, and especially with the gas coming down for the Zerg, there is nothing WhiteRa can do to punish this. At the very earliest, he can go for 4-gate pressure, but even then, with Rhett having the speed out and the 3 hatcheries already up and running, if he sees that coming, he should have no problem handling that, and this is just going to put Rhett in a very nice place to begin this game.
I'd also like to point out this probe is a thief, Penguin. He stole some minerals.
Well, that's just rude.
I know, it's just nasty. It's not the sort of thing we've come to expect out of workers nowadays. They used to have honor. Back when these two started playing, workers would never do this sort of thing.
I don't know, man. Back when these two started playing, workers were more worried about actually killing each other, so maybe this is a little better. True,
maybe they've gone from like murder to petty theft. But I'm also very interested to see what this probe is going to do, because it is hiding down in a potential proxy location. Meanwhile, WhiteRa just has one stalker there, chipping away. But of course, with this 3rd hatch, as you said, there's so much extra production. And with speed on its way, you're also plenty easy enough to get out a good number of lings in order to defend.
This is pretty cute from WhiteRa. He's going to try to do some damage here, but the problem is that with the speed coming up already, he's not going to be able to kill this, he's not going to be able to deny it. All he's going to do is force out some units, but that's all he wants to do here. He's not trying to kill off a base, he's not trying to kill queens. He would like to kill a queen or two, but really the main goal of this is to force Rhett to make Zerglings instead of drones, and he is succeeding in doing that.
WhiteRa does let his mothership core get very, very low. Unfortunately, with speed finishing up 12 seconds from now, this stalker may not get home to tell his grandkids about the time he went to try and solo kill a hatchery, because it's going to get chased down pretty hardcore. And actually, I would argue that that's nice by WhiteRa, just minimizing the surface area, but still gonna get taken down. Red also microing these lings quite well, trying to pull damage ones back to keep him alive. Go on, Stalker.
He got 2.
He got 2. That's pretty good going for a Stalker up against speedlings.
Okay, let's calm down a bit, but I'm really excited to see what WhiteRa decides to do here. He's gone to the Twilight Council. It's in the main. It is seen now by Red. The question that I have... Oh,
WhiteRa!
No,
WhiteRa! Oh. He didn't force field. Well, he did, but just a bit late. And that unfortunately means that a sentry goes down. That's 1,000 gas in the bin. Oh, for a couple of links.
Yeah, 100 gas down. That hurts. This early in the game, especially since WhiteRa's going for a pretty tech-heavy build. He's got the Twilight Council out, but I'm really interested to see if he goes for the Dark Shrine or for the Blink. His Twilight was already scouted, so it looks like he's actually going to delay the additional tech and instead go for an... Wow, that's before 8 minutes, that third base. That is insanely fast, and Rhett's not going to be expecting this.
This is insanely early, as you said, and this is a kind of sneaky thing, which you can get away with if your opponent doesn't realize it's coming. We've got Photon Cannon coming down. We'll probably see this walled off as well with a couple of gateways just to make sure that it's completely boxed in, so not susceptible to any lings trying to get through. But, yeah, Rhett, he's oblivious currently to this even going down. And as such, if WhiteRa is able to get the Nexus to finish with Photon Overcharge and a decent number of units, he should be able to hold it unless Rhett were to go for a very powerful push.
At this point, it's pretty safe already. The cannon's already finished up. The Nexus is almost completely done. And the reason why this didn't work for Rhett, or why this worked for WhiteRa rather, is because Rhett saw the Twilight, which implies that there's going to be even more money spent into either Blink or into the Dark Shrine. And it is going to be the Dark Shrine, but WhiteRa delayed that so he had the money to go for the earlier Nexus, and Rhett was expecting aggression. So as a result, he made a couple of units, he made less drones, he got himself ready to be in a defensive position, and really, that's exactly what WhiteRa wanted with this third base coming up.
Interestingly, Rhett is choosing to add in Burrow, as well as that Infestation Pit. He's got road speed on the way, and currently going a very similar play, or at least overall game plan, to what he did on Yonsu. So we could very well be seeing those swarm hosts yet again.
Oh no! WhiteRa! The Lings, they get into the main. He could split off some to go to the natural as well, but instead, Rhett gonna go just straight for the mineral line of the main, finally sending some back down to the natural. And this is gonna be a little bit disastrous here for WhiteRa. Not only is his Dark Shrine scouted, but this is gonna buy Rhett so much time to go into that swarm host transition while giving him a nice little lead. Oh, if this Immortal goes down, that would also be very, very bad. But Immortal will survive, but 6 worker kills, full scout off, and more importantly, a lot of time bought for these swarm hosts to start coming out. We've got a couple of DTs going to make their way on in, but with the Dark Shrine scouted, Rhett should be prepared for this. He has an Overseer with these roaches, and this really, really hurts for WhiteRa.
Luckily, it's only 2 Dark Templar. It's not like he warped in 4 or so, which sometimes you do see, but it's still a commitment that really WhiteRa doesn't want to throw away any more gas than he unfortunately already has.
Yeah, and we've got a really, oh wow, 16 drones coming out. Yeah, we're seeing why Rhett's the king of drones here, as he's going to be going up to over 80. That's pretty impressive, 85. And what he's going to start to do is he's going to want a very high drone count to get his bank increased as quickly as possible. And then from there, he's going to invest maybe about up to half of those drones into static defense, which is going to make him almost impenetrable here. And he's also adding on the Spire, which could be either for a Muta switch later in the game, that's the kind of thing that Jaedong likes to do, or it could be for a Broodlord transition, which is more common in the European scene right now.
Couple of swarm hosts already burrowing up quite nicely. Worth noting that WhiteRa is not in possession of an observer as of yet. The first one is only just now being produced. That means these swarm hosts, when burrowed, may as well be invulnerable, because there's nothing that actually WhiteRa can do about it. The Locusts are going to be able to take down a cannon. That's clearly quite nice. It means that a couple of Lings running by will be able to do some damage without getting taken down by that. So good news there for Rhett. Rhett's drone count as well, as you mentioned, going through the roof, up to 87 already. And now we actually see a 4 DT drop coming in towards the main base.
That could actually be pretty disastrous. There is detection here in the form of a Spore Crawler, but that's going to be killed very quickly by these DTs. And in comes WhiteRa. Is he going to go straight for the Spore? He's actually going to go for the Spine first, and that's going to die before it kills up any of the DTs here. And now that's going to leave the Spore completely defenseless. There's really going to be nothing to deal with these DTs for quite a while. This is a very, very heavy investment, though, and that's something to consider. These DTs have to do absolutely massive damage to be worthwhile. They've done an okay job so far, but they need to kill off at least something more. The spawning pool would be a very, very nice catch, and it looks like they will get that at the very least. Very, very nice there for WhiteRa, but the problem is, wow, GG coming out actually missed a run by into the natural.
Yeah, it didn't take out a whole ton of probes, but it took out a couple, and WhiteRa knew that without any kind of AoE tech, such as Colossi or High Templar with Storm, he couldn't contend with those Swarm hosts. So Red now takes an early 2-0 lead in this best of 7.